you're able to receive ideas, process them, use them for policy making. But ideas, when implemented, are also something which benefit the common man. And when it benefits the common man, the word of mouth spreads in the ground. And that itself builds an environment of positivity, of realizing people's aspirations, and in an election time, that actually forms the ground for further discussions so our democracy can be much more vibrant. So today, all of us are aware we are meeting at a time when the elections are announced, the code of conduct is in place. Parties and their candidates are going around talking about what they would want to put before the people. But an informal gathering like this, with no party affiliation, with no party symbol, is a very strong platform through which you are able to communicate to audience of all kinds. It's not just your party workers, but city intellectuals, city thinkers, and people who can in their own community speak about issues which govern or which concern the oncoming elections is very difficult to handle, and that's my feeling. Because when it is a political platform, you can speak about your politics, about your achievements, and invoke the spirit of cooperation from the workers and then move on. But here, I'm conscious that we are talking in a gathering which has no political background, but yet is something which is a powerful platform, and I need to put forth a lot of thoughts to you. And I'm standing in Silicon Valley of India, where young people are aspiring to build an India which is going to be leaders in, let us say, artificial intelligence, leaders in frontier technologies, leaders who are going to be looking at various ways of optimally, sustainably use space and space-related areas, leaders who are going to also make sure that technology helps the common man. So, if I'm talking to a gathering which is the backbone of New India, the backbone of India that needs to be the leader of the world in technology-driven businesses, and clearly, therefore, ensure that India's demographic dividend, which will have to be given the strength of education, the strength of skills, access to credit, make businesses flourish, policies which facilitate all that. So it is that place from where we need to build hope, give optimal use of policy support, and take the country forward towards what the Prime Minister has set before us. 2047 will see an India which is developed, which is going to be proud in leading the world in technology and making sure that all our youth contribute. So it is that context which I want to place before you. The Prime Minister's dream are not dreams which are daydreaming dreams. They are realizable dreams. Because he's proven, the Prime Minister has proven that he looks after the entire country, looks after every segment which can contribute to our economy, and deliver on those, both with policy and legislative support, and support at the ground level, which is more tax-enabled, financial assistance-enabled, bank-facilitated, and so on. So the dream of our Prime Minister, which is a realizable dream, which is a deliverable dream, is what governs the narrative for this election, this Lok Sabha election, which is a very critical election. You may tell me that you said this in 2014, you also said this in 2019, now you're saying this again in 24. Yes, absolutely. I said it was important in 2014 to have Prime Minister Modi, at that time Chief Minister and the Prime Ministerial candidate for our party, should win. And that election was critical because you have to move India, you had then to move India out of a policy paralysis, a corruption-ridden regime, a government which never took action but was so busy lining their pockets. India's image was down the drain, so you had to bring Prime Minister Modi and BJP and also the NDA. And in the first 5 years, you see what amount of work had been done, undertaken, which led to a situation that by 2019, you could think, all right, the second set of years are necessary for us to have a continuity so that the good work of 14 to 19 is not lost. And that is why you see between 2014 and 19, the initial steps that were taken to remove all the dead wood which had accumulated between 2004 and 14. And then real hard work began in laying the foundation for a new India, for a modern India, for an India which will benefit from technology, give the opportunities for our young, and so on. So the reason why in 2024, along with vote on account, we had to bring a white paper was to highlight what was the situation prior to 14, and with 10 comparable years, 2004 to 14, 14 to 24, 10 comparable years, what effort it had taken to remove all the dead wood, what effort it had taken to lay the foundation of confidence building and getting economy stronger, despite the 2020 COVID challenge, which was no comparison to the global financial crisis. Global financial crisis of 2008 and 9 was limited to some countries, whereas 2020's COVID was across the board. No country was free of it. It was a global crisis truly. And despite that global crisis, today India is the fifth largest economy, and we are hoping to take it to third largest. Today, India is the fastest growing economy, and it shall sustain being the fastest growing in the next few years as well. So if that is the way in which 10 comparable years, 10 years now, 10 years then, can reveal what were the kind of problems that we had to remove and bring India to this basis. That is the reason why the white paper was presented this time in the parliament. Also because I'm standing in Bengaluru, we are talking about New India, we are talking about what Bengaluru is contributing towards India's economy. I need to state this. In the interim budget, keeping very consciously that it is a vote on account, no new tax proposals, no new schemes were announced. But we chose to have Anusandhan given priority. And that is why a corpus of 1 lakh crore was created to support research and innovation in sunrise domain. So this corpus of 1 lakh crore is going to be the seed capital, which will be with an agency which can raise capital from the market and support private sector risk-based innovative efforts, which means Bengaluru is going to be benefiting from such fund which is created. You remember in 2016, the startup fund, the fund of funds was created. It was set up in the SIDBI. I know of many organizations, startup organizations, which have benefited from that fund. It is now rapidly growing. So is now this fund for Anusandhan, which will create the fund for research and development, even in private sector, to be supported by government fund. The Make in India initiative and the PLI, productivity linked schemes, are again aiming at 14 sectors, and they have attracted an investment of 1.03 lakh crores till November 2023. So the 14 sectors PLI has also drawn a lot of private investment coming into this country, and that has led to a production or sales of 8.6 lakh crores. That is about 104 billion US dollars. That is the production and sales which are happening because of government's productivity linked incentive schemes. And it has given employment for directly and indirectly to 6.7 lakh people. So the profit production linked incentive has borne results, both in terms of the quantum of private investment which is coming into the country, and also the quantum or the number of jobs that have been created. Now, it is again very important for me to highlight that Bengaluru has been the major beneficiary of Prime Minister Modi's push to make in India and innovate from India. I'll just give you a few examples. In March 2024, Applied Materials Incorporation India announced the commissioning of India Validation Center at Applied Materials India, Bangalore, which will mark the next step in its journey of enabling the semiconductor ecosystem in India. So that is one major leap forward which will benefit for Innovate from India, Make in India. November 2023, AMD, again, Applied Materials, opened its largest global design center in Bengaluru to focus on design and development for semiconductor technology. In October 2023, Nokia opened 6G Lab. We know we are up and we are one of the leading countries in 5G technologies. 6G Lab in Bengaluru has been opened by Nokia to accelerate the development of fundamental technologies and innovate use cases underpinned by 6G technology. So, if these major efforts have come into Bengaluru, it's because of the support which are being extended to Bengaluru by the Modi government. I think enough of data has been floating around on Modi guarantee. Now, I will not go into details of the numbers. I'm sure all of you all will get it somewhere. But broadly, I want to flag those guarantees which will help the common people, poor people, people who are just above poverty. And therefore, in Bengaluru urban alone, 14.68 lakh Jan Dhan accounts have been opened, and 52 crores is what is achieved in the country. But in urban Bengaluru alone, 14.68 lakh Jan Dhan accounts have been opened. Now, collateral-free loans, where the Prime Minister said, I am the guarantee, go to the banks, take the loan you want, sometimes even subsidized rate of interest is provided for them. Such things I will just very quickly list out. PM Mudra, which is microcredit up to 10 lakhs. 30,490 crores have been given only to Bengaluru urban, meaning 38.25 lakh beneficiaries only in urban Bengaluru. Stand Up India, where loans between 10 lakh to 1 crore are given to scheduled caste and scheduled tribes and women borrowers. Bengaluru Urban, 467 crores have been distributed, 4,429 beneficiaries in Bengaluru Urban under that. PM Swanidhi, again collateral free, it is for the street vendors. They get up to 50,000 rupees for eligible street vendors, 1.25 lakh, and this is somewhat old number, it could be more than that now, 1.25 lakh street vendors only in Bengaluru Urban who benefited from it. 62% of them are women, 31% of them are OBCs, 29% of them are SCs and ST. Jan Suraksha Ki Guarantee, which again the Prime Minister is very keen about, PM Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana, which is a life insurance cover, which is only 436 rupees a year of premium that one has to pay, but you get the cover for your life. Bengaluru Urban has got more than 13 lakh beneficiaries who have enrolled into this scheme, which means the poor are getting covered with insurance. PM Suraksha Bima Yojana, accidental insurance for 20 rupees only per annum. You pay a premium of 20 rupees, 20 rupees, and you get covered for any accident that you may face. Fatal accident, of course, the parivar will get something, but if you've lost your limb, you get money. In that, 29.55 lakh people in Bengaluru alone have enrolled themselves to it. Atal Pension Yojana, which is a pension yojana for people who will get it when they reach 60 years, and that covers the poor people. 5.26 lakh people only in Bengaluru Urban have benefited. New tap water connections under the Jal Jeevan Mission, 72,489 tap water connections have been provided in Bengaluru Urban. 72,489 tap connections. Now, share of rural households with tap water, some periphery constituencies of Bengaluru Urban, March 24, 2024, by the end of this month, 42% of rural households in Bengaluru area will be covered, whereas only 19.3% were covered in 2019. So the rapidity with which the coverage is happening is something worthy of hearing. Now, in the urban areas, again, Prime Minister Modi is ensuring that people will get some kind of roof, concrete roof above their head, some PM Awas Yojana, giving houses for the poor. 1.95 lakh houses have been sanctioned for Bengaluru Urban. And for the rural pockets within Bengaluru Urban, 2,987 houses have been sanctioned, and therefore a total of 1.95 lakh houses, 1.95, you can say nearly 2 lakh houses have been built under the scheme. So, all India, the emphasis for women in such schemes is being explained. 75% of houses under the PM Awas is going to women. In Karnataka, 90% of PM Awas houses are solely or jointly owned by women. I'll just take a few minutes more on the guarantees. Swachhata Ki Guarantee. Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, that big mission. All over India, 11 crore or more household toilets have been constructed. Whereas in Bengaluru Urban, 28,075 household toilets have been constructed. Bengaluru Urban still needs toilets in households to be built, and that's what Prime Minister Modi has targeted and given. In urban particularly, 3,122 household toilets were constructed in Bengaluru Urban. Ayushman Bharat is one of the very big flagship scheme. 33 crore beneficiaries get all over India. 5 lakh rupees worth of cover for any medical treatment in the empaneled hospitals. From the 33 crores, I can see many residents of Bengaluru urban. From the 33 crore people who benefit all over India, 5 lakh beneficiaries are only in the Bengaluru urban area who have been covered by Ayushman Bharat. The other very favorite big item which I'd like to put before you for building an argument that because we have delivered on the ground, we are now giving you a futuristic thought on how India can get developed by 2047 and why you need to have hope and why that will be well founded because the given promises have all been fulfilled on the ground. Jan Aushadhi Kendras are a big boon for the middle class. The same medicine that you get for 100 rupees under a Jan Aushadhi generic brand, you get with the same effectiveness medicines for less than 60 rupees. I'm giving you an average, but in some cases it's almost less than 80 rupees for 100. So Jan Aushadhi Kendras have benefited common people. I want to say all over the country, if there are 11,000 Kendras, Bengaluru urban alone has 332 Kendras. As of March 23rd, I'm giving you 332 Kendras have reached Bangalore. Total savings of more than 23,000 crores under Jan Aushadhi Kendras during the past 9 years, and I'm giving this as an all India figure, more than 2,000 medicines and medical equipments available through Jan Aushadhi Kendras so we can benefit. Karnataka has the second highest number of Jan Aushadhi Kendras across India. So you really understand the benefit that Jan Aushadhi Kendra can give for middle class, and that is why it has received that kind of a welcome here. Now LPG cylinder ka guarantee. All India 10 crore, over 10 crore, 10.32 crores of people are the beneficiary of Ujjwala scheme, which is a subsidized cooking cylinder, gas cylinder scheme. Bengaluru urban alone gets 30,220 people under the Ujjwala scheme. Food security, PM Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, 80 crores or slightly more than that all over India. Bengaluru urban has 32.51 lakh people who get free, totally free ration at home monthly. The last of it, the 10th that I want to give you as guarantee, Kisan Ko Samman Ki guarantee, giving respect to the farmer. All over the country, 8.7 crore or slightly more than that farmers, of whom 22% are women farmers, get Kisan Samman Nidhi, which is given as 3 installments of 2,000, 6,000 in a year. Bengaluru urban has 35.67 thousand farmers who get Bengaluru urban, maybe in the peripheral areas, 35.67 thousand farmers who get this Samman Nidhi. Before I get to talking about a few other things, I would want to ensure and assure the citizens of Bengaluru that the funds from the central government to the state government, as per the recommendation of the Finance Commission, which gets appointed once in 5 years, and I know this is a matter of great interest in Karnataka, I want to make it a point to tell you in detail that every penny that is due to Karnataka, every paisa that is due to Karnataka is given and given on time. Tax devolution, meaning tax is collected and then it is from the center distributed to all states as per a formula given by the Finance Commission. Tax devolution has increased under Prime Minister Modi, which is between 2014 and 24, tax devolution in this 10 years has increased by 258%, which is 3.5 times more compared to the 10 years during the UPA. This is tax collected and given. Finance Commission also says give grants to the states. They are called grants in aid. That has increased 273%, which is 3.7 times more than what it was the previous 10 years. Sometimes tax devolution, monthly I have to send so much to the state. 2 months installment is given in advance so that the state can have money in its hand. Such advance payments of tax, advance release of tax amounts which have to go to the states, at least 4 times I have given it in advance so that the states should have timely money and more money in their hands so that they can spend well. I'll just give you the actual numbers so that you know the volume of increase. Between 2004 and 14, the money received per year was 81,795 crores. I'm sure some of you are noting it down, but I just want the number to be registered. 81,795 crores under tax devolution came to Karnataka between 2004 and 14. Between 2014 and 24, which is what I said earlier, 3.5 times more. So what was the actual amount which has gone to the states between 2014 and February 2024? We are in March now, but I'm talking about February. Sorry to repeat, 81,795.19 was the amount given during 2004 and 14. What is given now till February end? 2,93,226 crores. So nobody is boasting that we've given this much or anything. But to be wrongly alleged, accused that you're not giving money which is due to Karnataka, I'm sorry. Please look at the figures. Look at the dates when the monies were received. And then tell us something which is specific and right so that I can respond. And I will respond. But when they've given it in time and given sometimes even in advance of the time to just blanket mislead the people saying money is not coming, is not responsible at all. I told you other than the tax, another one set of payments which come under the name of grants in aid, that increased 3.7 times. What was the actual amount? 2004 to 14, 60,779.84 crores. What is it now under Prime Minister Modi, 14 to 24? 2,26,832 crores. So I just want the government to please look into the papers, keep the facts, and do not mislead the people of Karnataka. All this is said by the Finance Commission, so I give. Finance Commission has not told us to give for state to develop their infrastructure, but after COVID hit us, and because we wanted the economy to revive fast, Prime Minister Modi devised a scheme. He said, please give states money to create infrastructure, to spend on ongoing infrastructure work, and give it interest-free. And give it for 50 years interest-free so that when they have to return, it will be 50 years by the time they return. No hurry, but give them now so that the economy can see a lot of groundwork in infrastructure building because it has greater multiplier effect. Since 2020-21, No finance commission told us this. But we've given it to all states, and Karnataka received under this category 50 years, no interest. You return after 50 years, you know the value of money being what it is, what will be returned, but it's okay. It might probably even get written off saying granted to the state. What was the share of Karnataka in that? 7,130 crores since 2020-21. Is there a recognition in the state's government now that even as they tell us something, I want to believe he is telling us the facts. But even as they say, do they acknowledge that the Karnataka state received this much, which was not part of the recommendations of the Finance Commission that was given to Karnataka? I want to pointedly address one more thing, which the state government seems to be churning every now and then. They churn it out with no fundamental fact to support it. The government here now repeatedly claims that 5,495 crore special grant was not released to Karnataka, and I want to very clearly state this before this August audience, that this is utterly false. Karnataka government states, I repeat it, and they claim that 5,495 crore special grant was not released to Karnataka, and this is totally false. The Finance Commission did not in its final report recommend any such special grant. And to repeatedly say, no, it was suggested by the Finance Commission, you did not accept, you denied finance to Karnataka, you are an MP from Karnataka, you are doing injustice to Karnataka. I'm sorry. The Finance Commission's final report did not have any such a recommendation, and therefore that is totally false. Now, because I'm talking about Finance Commission, let me put before you the net proceeds of shareable taxes, central taxes, to states under the various finance commissions. Some of which were appointed by Congress government, which were in power at that time. So, if Congress governments did not think about giving more to the states, that was acceptable then for every congressman. But today, when we give more, you are not just doing justice as Congress's hypocrisy. The double talk that they do. 12th Finance Commission. How much was net proceeds shareable? Meaning total tax collected. From that, how much was to be given to the states? Recommended by the Finance Commission, appointed in those days. The 12th Finance Commission recommended only 30.5%. It was all right for everybody. 13th Finance Commission recommended only 32%. It was all right for everybody. 14th Finance Commission recommended 42%, which was submitted after 2014. New government was set up immediately after that. 42%. Prime Minister Modi agreed and accepted it and is following it till today. No, it is not acceptable for us because we are Congressis. You accepted 30.5, you accepted 32, you didn't have any qualms at that time. You didn't say give us more. Now, when Prime Minister Modi accepted 42, which was the 14th Finance Commission's recommendation, and subsequently in the 15th Finance Commission, when after the J&K Article 370 division between Jammu Kashmir and Ladakh happened, that 42 became 41 because they both come under the Union Territory category. 41%. Even that was accepted and it is going on. Even till today we honor it. That's when you start saying, no, we don't get enough money. Your commissions, when you appointed them, they were giving far lesser to you. You had nothing there to say. But now is when you have issues. I'll also come once more. I'm sorry to pound you with numbers like this. I have a captive audience who are a thinking audience, an audience which will understand. Again, an attempt is being made by the current government in Karnataka to say GST itself is wrong, which is what their ever-launching young Neta of the Congress party keeps saying. It's Gabbar Singh tax. Gabbar Singh tax, a tax which in their government during Pranab Mukherjee's time as finance minister, they wanted to launch it, they could not because no state government trusted them. But because of the tireless effort of Arun Jaitley ji and Prime Minister Modi, it got introduced in 2016 and it is running successfully till today, and the increase in the indirect revenue collection is going up month on month, and it is not because the rates have been increased on any one item. On any one item, rates have not been increased in GST. I repeat it. So the revenue collection increase is not because taxes increased. Efficiency in collection, cutting down on evasion, plugging loopholes, making sure more people come on board and become part of the tax net are all resulting in better revenue collection. So, to now say, who could not launch GST, who did not also understand what efficiency can do to tax collection, are now saying prior to GST introduction, we had an increased amount collected, whereas now what you're collecting is far less, so GST is doing a disservice. That's the argument currently. I want to put that in front of you. They claim that the current claim that we are making, approximately around 15% is the tax collection increase. They say no, that's wrong, it's exaggerated. I want to give you the data that prior to the introduction of GST in 2016-17 and before that, if you look at from 2011 to the time when GST was introduced, the total cumulative average growth rate, CAGR, of states' revenue from taxes, the taxes that got subsumed into GST. So from then you start looking at GST growth. Earlier you saw growth in different types of taxes. There were 22 of them and some 7 cesses which have got included into the GST. So the rate of growth pre-GST was only 11.68%. So today when it is touching 15%, you are not able to accept it and you're saying that is exaggerated. This is also not much different from the CAGR of 11.34% after GST introduction in 17-18 to 22-23 despite COVID. So I want to very clearly tell the state government that GST is benefiting you, it is giving increased revenue to you, and very clearly the rates have not gone up, burdening the ordinary payers. One last word on the GST compensation. They keep claiming that compensation has not been given to them. I've said it in several times that once the authorized certification of the AG certified, the Accountant General of Karnataka certified receipt reaches me, we clear it up. And as of today, the full compensation amount of 1.06 lakh crores for Karnataka for the period between 17 to 22 are completely released, and there is no GST compensation amount due to Karnataka as of 1st March 2024 is there. I won't take more of your time because I think now it's the time for you all to have questions asked. I will certainly distribute through some of your organizers the total number of projects, the amounts which are coming, the foundation stones which have been laid, the kind of railway corridors which have been done, and how much of money is coming in the name of railways. Average annual outlay for Karnataka between 2014 and 22 for railways alone, just for railways alone, is 3,424 crores. Whereas the average outlay between 2009 and 2014 was only 835 crores. So it is all right to compare and contrast, but keep alleging falsely. I have data to show you that now what Karnataka receives, and rightfully, it is not any language of patronizing here, rightfully, is far, far higher than what the Congress government gave in 10 years. There are 7 Vande Bharat trains operationalized in Karnataka, all over the country. 4 are operationalized in Karnataka, which connect Bengaluru, of the 7 which are introduced otherwise. You know the names. Kalaburgi Visveshwaraya terminal in Bengaluru has been set up. Mysore to Chennai, Coimbatore to Bangalore cantonment, Mangaluru to Madgaon, Dharwad, Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Bengaluru, Mysore, Chennai are all Vande Bharat expresses. Metros, air connectivity. I was surprised to see 7 airports have been operationalized under the Udan scheme, which are very, for the middle class to get connected to the nearest big airport and from there fly out of the country. 7 such Udan airports have been operationalized. Belgaum, which was done in 19, Hubli, which was done in 18, Mysuru, which was done in 17, Vidyanagar 17, Kalaburgi 19, Bidar 20, Shivamogga 23. And 57 new air routes have been operationalized. Then Prime Minister also inaugurated the newly constructed Shivamogga Airport in February 2023. The new fantastic terminal in Bengaluru, about which all of us are proud of. And visitors who come to India surprised to see the state-of-art work which Bengaluru Airport displays. 5,000 crores have been spent on it. Bengaluru deserves it. Bengaluru deserves it for the contribution it makes and what visitors it receives. But after all, these are monies which are being spent on Karnataka, spent on Bengaluru, spent by the central government. None of this appears in the eyes of the current government. Oh, you've not given me a certain amount. What was the amount? Something like 5,000 crores, which was not part of the final report. But the several 5,000 crore related projects which are all spent and completed never find any mention by the current government. Just shows that their intent is to create confusion in the mind of the people and to claim that Prime Minister Modi has not done justice to Karnataka. I am sure you, the people here, very discerning that you are, will know what he's done. And I'm not getting into anything else at the moment, strictly financial matters that I've spoken. Whilst I sit and answer your questions or stay here and answer your questions, I'm glad to answer everything else which can be political and otherwise. Thank you very much.